Good evening, everyone. I would like to convene the regular meeting of the Larkspur City Council for Wednesday, December 20th, 2017. And I think we're starting exactly on time at 6:30 p.m. And with that, we'll start with the agenda, which begins with roll call.
Councilmember Chu?
Here.
Councilmember Way?
Here.
Councilmember Morrison?
Here.
Councilmember Hilmer?
Here.
And Mayor Harroff.
Here. And with that, for those who are able, let's stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thanks, everyone. We'll move through the agenda at a brisk pace tonight, I think. Agenda item number 2 is presentations and proclamations, and I see that we have none. Agenda item number 3 is public comment time. Time for members of the public to address the City Council regarding items that are not on the agenda or that are listed as part of the consent calendar. Please approach the podium, state your name, and we'll give you 3 minutes to speak if there's anyone from the public who wishes to take advantage of this opportunity. Seeing none, we will close that agenda item and move on to agenda item number 4, approval of the consent calendar. Does anyone from the City Council wish to pull any items off of this consent calendar? Anyone from the public? Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. We'll move to agenda item number 5, which is the City Manager's oral report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. It's that time of year where almost every one of my city manager reports starts with a reminder that it's going to start to rain, and it's a good time to be making sure that your property is prepared for dealing with the rain. We are seeing in early predictions that we're going to have some rain right around the new year, and we're going to have a king tide right around the new year. So our staff is doing what it needs to do to be prepared for that, and we encourage particularly our residents of neighborhoods that are adjacent to the Corte Madera Creek to do the best they can now to be prepared for those circumstances right after the holidays. We would love it if the rain comes a couple days later. That would be perfect because we always need the rain, but it'd be nice if it came after the tide subsides. Second, a reminder that City Hall is going to close for essentially the week of the 25th. Will be closed to the public. The library is going to be closed as well. This closure allows staff both some time off, but also a lot of facility work occurs in City Hall during the closure, and so it gives the guys a chance to get those sorts of things done. Also, a reminder for the council and the public that you are not meeting on your regularly scheduled January 3rd meeting. Instead, the first meeting of the new year will be on January 17. We anticipate a very fiscal-oriented meeting. We'll be bringing the mid-year budget. We'll be bringing the audit from last year. We'll be bringing your OPEB actuarial analysis. So we'll be talking about a lot of money issues on January 17. So it might be a little longer than tonight's meeting. Other than that, I just want to thank all of the staff for a lot of the hard work they've been putting in the last few weeks to make sure that the city's prepared for, what feels like a slow period for the community is sometimes a busy period for us getting everything ready, and they've been doing a yeoman's job to do that. So thank you to everybody on our staff, and happy holidays.
Okay, thank you very much for that. That'll conclude agenda item number 5. We'll move to agenda item number 6, which is council members' oral reports and comments. Any members of the City Council have a report they would like to make tonight?
You want to start? Yeah, sure.
Are you going to talk about St. Pat's and the Homer Band? Okay. So on Monday, both Councilmember Morrison and myself attended a community meeting that was held at St. Patrick's Church, and a combination of the church Monsignor and Homeward Bound, who is looking to lease, or apparently has leased, the convent building across the street, and to do a relationship with Homeward Bound to house 11 low-income seniors in that property. So it was very well attended there. The whole Healy Hall, which I'd never been into before, was full. So there'll be many other meetings, and Neil Toft from the staff was there to answer some questions. So it was supposed to be pretty informal, and I think it was. And I look forward to hearing more about how they intend to repurpose that site. And the second thing is, as a DC3 member, I've been encouraged to go tour the fire zones in Santa Rosa. And Bill Tyler, who is the Novato fire chief, had a tour directions and maps that he had given out to some of us and encouraged us to go. So I went finally. I hadn't been up there. And I really found it startlingly devastating. And I think it's a very important opportunity as electeds to really take the opportunity to drive up there if you can and spend 2 or 3 hours. And I'll give you the maps if you want to drive through those neighborhoods, particularly the Fountain Grove, and then across the street into freeway into Coffey Park, which essentially I was unprepared for the extraordinary devastation there. And I would say, it's like if Hillview times 4 was just incinerated. That's exactly this type of home that was there. They're all suburban, small, 3-bedroom, 2-bath kind of homes and a planned development, all the way across the freeway from where the open space is. So if anybody's interested, I'd really encourage during some downtime to do that. They're clearing the land, but it's a stark reminder of what we may face here. I also have sort of the timeline that was put together for that particular fire, the Tubbs fire, if anybody's interested. But I'd really encourage you to go because I think Mill Valley's council members went as a group, and I think it's an important thing for all of us to see, especially as we talk more about that we are just an ignition away from that kind of thing happening to us too. So if you're interested, I have it, and I'd be happy to share it with you guys. Yep.
Okay. Councilmember Morrison, do you have anything you want to add?
So it's called the King Street Senior Housing, and like Catherine said, it was well attended, but it's a 12 single room, and Homeward Bound and Marina hopes to do a $1 million renovation, not expanding the house, just improving the inside. It's an incredible idea, and it's such a need in Marin. So I thought the audience, after all the questions that were answered, they were a little more supportive than they were when they walked in the door. And again, Neil Toft did an excellent job supporting the Planning Department and Commission. Anyway, it was good. Thank you.
Okay. And I just have one thing I wanted to mention, which is I had the opportunity today to join the staff for MC Clean Energy in 2 meetings with the staff of the California Public Utilities Commission to discuss the Commission's draft resolution E4907. This is a proposal to essentially put an ad hoc freeze on the formation of community choice aggregation entities in the state of California. MC Clean Energy was the first CCA in the state of California, and in my view, the most successful. In the 4 years that I've been on the board, we've expanded our jurisdiction from exclusively within Marin County to include Napa County, Solano County, portions of Solano County, and we will be rolling out into essentially the entirety of Contra Costa County in 2018. CCAs have been popping up all over the state of California and are predicted, if they continue to grow in the way that they have been, that by the year 2025, CCAs will be providing as much as 75% of the population of the state of California with their retail energy needs. So this is very important, and it's why Resolution E4907 is very concerning. There was legislation that had been introduced in Sacramento last year to essentially have this same consequence. That legislation was defeated, and the CPUC is now attempting through a more informal mechanism to accomplish the same effect. So we were there talking to staff, trying to educate them once again about the role that CCAs play within the retail energy market in the state of California, and the importance of proceeding with consideration of that role in a fair and transparent way, which is not accomplished by this draft resolution. So I've written to the commission staff about this. I've supported MCE staff in their efforts to respond to this and expect to continue to do that going into the future. And just as a side note, the role that I play with MCE is strictly a function of the fact that I'm on the city council here in Larkspur. And one of the great pleasures that I've had in the last 4 years while I've been on the city council is the opportunity to represent our community and our citizens in that context. I think it's a great organization. It provides a real benefit to California, both in terms of managing electricity rates, but also providing clean, renewable energy resources to the people who live within our community. We were among the communities in the Marin that were added to the Deep Green program earlier this year. You may remember that. And now all of Marin County, all the municipalities and the county of Marin are participating in the Deep Green program, which is 100% renewable energy for those municipal and county entities. So that's something I'm very proud of and look forward to continuing in the future. So there. And without anything further on agenda item number 6, we will move to agenda item number 7, public hearings, and seeing that there are none, we will move promptly on to the highlight of the evening, which is agenda item number 8. 8.1 is adopt a resolution 8317 declaring the results of the municipal election held on November 7th, 2017. And do we have a staff report on that? Or do we need one?
We are certifying the results that measure be passed and that 3 council members were reelected.
So we need a motion, I guess, to adopt Resolution 8317. Do we
So
have a
moved.
motion? Do we have a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. We'll move to agenda item 8.2, which is swearing in our newly elected city council members to a 5-year term. And we will now turn it over to our city clerk. You want us to come forward?
Is this the karaoke night?
It's a proud moment, you guys.
Thank you.
Want to be in the middle? Mayor?
It doesn't matter, it's fine.
Get in the middle, Mr. Mayor.
You can be, I'll be honest.
Oh,
Well, you're sitting over here.
May I take photos?
I'll stand in the center.
Catherine in the middle.
That looks more balanced to me.
That's fine. It's kind of in ascending order now.
All right, I will read it line by line, and you guys can repeat together after me. So I state your name.
I,
Kevin
Catherine
Harrell.
Way,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter. Hip hip hooray!
No, we can't afford to break.
It was a bloodless coup.
That will conclude agenda item 8.2, and we will move on to agenda item 8.3, which is the election of our new mayor and vice mayor. And I will begin by calling for nominations for vice mayor.
Mayor Haroff, I would like to nominate Councilmember Ann Morrison for Vice Mayor for the upcoming year.
Terrific. Any competing nominations?
I'll
Hearing-
second.
Hearing none, we'll have a second, and I will call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion is approved. Congratulations.
I'm excited.
I'm sure you are. It's great. And then to the second item, I would like to call for nominations for mayor. Do I have a nomination?
I'd like to nominate Vice Mayor Dan Hilmer for mayor.
Any competing nominations? Seeing none, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Let's have a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Woohoo!
Okay, are we scooting over?
I think we scoot over in a
Well, I
moment.
think he has to give his remarks.
Of course he does. No, I didn't know.
No, that's okay.
If you're going to stand up and do that.
But I think I'm supposed to be invited to give a few more remarks by our new mayor.
By our new mayor.
You read the script.
I did read the script.
Yeah, it's ingredients.
Thank you very much. I would be pleased to invite former Mayor Haroff to make a few remarks.
Thank you very much, current Mayor Hilmer. I would like to thank Mayor Hilmer and congratulate him and Vice Mayor Morrison for their election tonight to these positions. And I would just like to make just a few brief remarks this evening. First of all, I want to say how grateful I am for the opportunity to serve as mayor of the city of Larkspur this past year. I always tell people that I meet out on the street or wherever that I think Larkspur is the greatest little city in the state of California, if not in the country as a whole. That is due in no small part to our wonderful citizens, our terrific elected and appointed public officials, and a terrific group of staff civil servants. We accomplished a number of big things during my time as mayor this year. Most important was the passage of Measure B, which sets the stage for a comprehensive program to rehabilitate and restore our local streets and roads. Many tasks still remain, though, including continuing to engage our community on regional issues like traffic and flood control, continuing to make progress on ensuring the integrity of our retirement benefits programs for city employees, completing the consolidation of the Larkspur and Court Madera Fire Departments, moving forward with the Bon Air Bridge project, and last but not least, developing a concrete plan to develop and fund the creation of a new library and related facilities at the city's community facility parcel. Under the leadership of Mayor Hilmer and Vice Mayor Morrison, I am confident we will make great progress on all of these challenges. As I leave my role as mayor of the city of Larkspur this past year, I want to thank first and foremost my wonderful colleagues on the city council, whose friendship and collegiality I appreciate immensely. I want to thank our city manager, Dan Schwartz, for the leadership that he's shown with our staff and with our community in general on a whole variety of different fronts. And I want to thank each and every one of our terrific city staff for the tremendous contributions that they have made for our community and for the organization of government within our city. And finally, and most importantly, I want to thank the citizens of Larkspur for their support and for their separate individual contributions to the wonderful quality of life that we have in our community. Thank you. Now we switch.
Give his envelope?
What? Oh, it's right here.
Yeah, I should give it to him.
I'm not sure how comfortable I feel over here. At least I have Ann to sit next to. I'm fine.
We can move it around.
No. It's just I'm not used to it. Here you go.
Now you
Kind
know
of in the
that
far
we have
corner.
positioned that chair 3 inches lower than the other chairs.
Maybe that's it.
Kevin, we have a card from the city council here that is just a symbol of our gratitude and appreciation for your leadership this past year.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So now it's my pleasure to invite up the representatives of the Volunteer Firefighters Association to present the ceremonial
Thank you.
gavel to our new mayor.
I did it very quickly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Heath. I'm the treasurer of the Larkspur. I have a hard time saying this because we changed our name from the Larkspur Association of Volunteer Firemen to the Larkspur Volunteer Fire Foundation. So every time I come to it, I just automatically go back a couple of years, right? But I want to I'm honored to come up and get to present you with the gavel for the upcoming year. And looking back, just thinking about, it's the 104th year that we presented a gavel.
To Dan or?
To, well, you bet, wait a minute, wait, no. Is that an insult? I don't know.
We all get along, I can do that.
I know. So it's a long-standing tradition, and I really am enjoying it, get to come up here and speak to you tonight and present this to you. And the only thing I wanted to say was a few things about that. Now with the changes coming with the fire department, changing to the Central Marin Fire, it's going to be different for us too, because now we have to support the fire departments, both of them joined as one. So Corte Madera will be a little bit part of our jurisdiction now, and not just Larkspur. So it'll be a bigger role and doing everything that we can to help them with fire prevention, with neighborhood, preparedness for everything like that, for disasters. So it's going to be a challenge for us to change and step up and meet some of the needs for all this and help Scott, which is one of our board members, to really help the community. So bigger community, hopefully we're going to do more and help you do more, because that's what counts. So here we have it. I would like to present this new gavel to our new mayor.
Nice.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. All right.
It's so.
Thank you very much.
Cute and corny. Right?
This always means a lot to the incoming mayor, because the volunteers are really representative of the heart and soul of our city, historically, and the spirit of volunteerism is really shown at its highest level with your group. So we're very grateful and appreciative of everything that you do. With that, I would just reference Kevin's remarks earlier, and I think he beautifully articulated what we achieved in the past year and a few of the things that we'd like to look ahead to. We have a city council retreat coming up in the next month, so we'll be refocusing in the context of everything that's changed over the past year. I think especially in terms of how we view public safety, we'll be rethinking how our resources may be optimized. So I won't go into it, other than that it's always safety first, and we try to keep infrastructure and a balanced set of books with the city council. We're very proud of our management, and as Kevin said earlier, we're ever so grateful for all the hard work of our staff and all the volunteers for our boards and commissions, and for the team spirit of our council members. I think that we stand out in that regard, and I think that's really job one, is working together. So thank you very much. With that, we'll adjourn the meeting for refreshments. Do we need a formal motion to adjourn?
Mayor Helmer?
Yes, Councilmember Chin.
I'd like to actually propose a separate adjournment. I'd like to move that we adjourn in memory of Ursula Ann Partee, Ann's mom. Sorry to hear that she passed away.
I agree. Thank you. I agree.
Well stated. There's a motion. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming.
Larry.
Congratulations.